Okay, I've got an email, guys, asking me if they can tighten the bolt on the dipstick tube retainer on the side of the oil pan on the 7.3. The answer is yes, you can snug it up, but you can only snug it up. You can't tighten it. The reason being is you have damaged the inside of the retainer, and I can show you that here in a second. But if you have a leak here and you want to just give it a little bit of a snug, feel free to, but do not over tighten it, and I'll show you why.
Okay, here I have an oil pan off, so I'm able to show you some of the things and what to look out for and what to watch and what to do. Again, you can only snug this up. If you over tighten it, I'm going to show you the damages that it caused and what to do. But if you notice here, as we take this off, first off, you don't ever loosen this up too much unless you plan on resealing it, because you will lose the O-ring, which I'll cover here in a second. But there's also, this thing has two different orientations depending on where your dipstick angle is, whether it's straight up or coming in like this. Make sure you know which one you have so you put it back together properly before you install it on the vehicle. So make sure you pay attention to that first off. Now second, if you loosen this, you probably just made it so you're going to have to pull the oil pan. The reason being is once this is loosened and your O-ring, this is what happens to the O-rings. They're big, they're swollen, you're not going to get it back in, and you don't have the luxury of putting your hand behind it like what I just did. So pretty much you just commit it to pulling the oil pan off. You can pull the oil pan off in the vehicle, even the vans. You just have to move the turbo and get it high enough, pull the trans and the flywheel flex plate and get it out that way. But the book does tell you to pull the engine. So anyhow, you have this off. Here's the O-ring, what it looks like from the oil being impregnated in it, and it's swollen. There's a stock one. So you're not going to find some way and work that back in there. And the other problem that you're up against from ones that have been over-tightened is, here we have this one in there. And if we look at the way it seals, what's happened is it's been distorted so bad it's no longer flat. Because as the nut gets tightened here and that O-ring and stuff, it just pushes against it and no longer will work. Here's a brand new factory one which I'm going to install. As you can see, let's go ahead, I'm going to show you the difference. Here's this one installed. As you can see, we have no sealing contact between the surfaces. And then here with the new one, nice, it's going to hold the O-ring in and be good. You just have to be really careful once you get done with this, or beforehand. Just don't over tighten it. Just snug them up. That's all it takes, and you end up with a nice perfect seal on this thing.